right, the Montreal Canadiens, back in it, eh? Maybe this is what they needed. Maybe all they needed to string together results was Arber Xhekaj entering the lineup once again. Now, I get it, he didn't really have the biggest impact in this game in terms of forcing the result at hand, but the Montreal Canadiens have just defeated the St. Louis Blues 5-2 in a pretty good game, I would say. Thankfully, the folks over on City TV were able to play this game on my television screen, so I didn't have to go through any extra overseas, kinda, quote-unquote, high-seas streaming services to be able to find this game, but I will say that I did have a little bit of a conflicted time watching this one. Because for me personally, I did pick up Joel Hofer, St. Louis Blues backup goalie, in fantasy hockey earlier this week, and he's been stellar so far this year, but heading into this one I was like, oh darn it, it's Jordan Binnington that's getting the start in this game versus Montreal. Well, the best that I could hope for is that Binnington absolutely craps the bed, and Joel Hofer ends up getting some minutes. Maybe the Canadiens don't really try to score all too much once the other goalie comes in, and Hofer is able to make a few routine stops. He gets like 10 saves or whatever, and I walk away a happy camper with the Canadiens' victory and Joel Hofer getting some numbers. Well, the thing is, one of those things ended up happening, the other didn't. Because it's true that Jordan Binnington did not have himself a great game at all in this one. Seriously, I was watching the goals pile up and seeing how few shots the Montreal Canadiens had in the process, and I was like, come on, St. Louis, you know you got it in you. Please, pull this guy. Give me my Joel Hofer goaltender appearance for the week. Unfortunately, he stayed in the whole game, with the exception of the time that the St. Louis Blues had the empty net. But other than that, this game was a pretty good one for the Montreal Canadiens and their stat paddings, trying to go out there and put some points up on the board. Now, early notes about this game. A lot of people were sort of anticipating the return of Yuri Slafkovsky. Who knows when that's going to happen, but earlier yesterday and today, he did suit up in practice and was able to move around with a non-contact jersey. So that is signaling some very good hope for Slav and his potential return. Patrick Laine, there were also some updates about him not really walking around with a brace anymore and not looking all too perturbed walking on his own 2 feet anymore too. So that, of course, adds on to the good news. But when it comes to this game in particular, the Habs got things started quickly. It was 1-0 off of a Jake Evans goal, and it was really great because this one came straight off the heels of a Montreal Canadiens penalty kill. Yeah, that's right, they were able to thwart off the St. Louis Blues power play, and then right after the penalty expired, after Montembeault made some good saves, you had David Savard behind the goal, who ended up making a really clutch play. Instead of just dumping it around the boards, waiting for the puck to get picked off by the Blues guy at the end of the point there, Savard just takes his time, he notices that nobody's on him, he calmly throws the puck up over to Yoel Armia, who chucks it all the way up into the middle of the ice for Jake Evans to streak right onto it. He walks in, it's a 2-on-1, he's got the guy on the side, but the pass is blocked, so Evans locks, loads, shoots, and beats Jordan Binnington up high. Beautiful goal to get things started for Montreal, 1-0 game. Now, early in the second period, this is where Montreal started to really get that offense clicking even more, because the opening minute is where we saw Kirby Dach make it 2-0. Mike Matheson, he has the shot, it goes through, Nick Suzuki is right there on the rebound, it kind of touches him a little bit, it kind of bounces around in the slot area before Kirby Dach is right there to just put the puck in the back of the net, open frame, as Jordan Binnington is caught committing to the earlier shot. 2-0 Montreal. Pretty great play. Nice to see Dach get his first of the year. Man, has he been a little bit rough to start things out. I don't know if it's necessarily a bad thing, because I think Canadiens fans more so expected this out of a guy who had missed the entire season last year, but seeing him get that monkey off the back, finally get some good results going his way, that, of course, is a positive sign. I didn't think he had the best game today. There were some giveaways, especially on the power play, that I noticed that were pretty egregious, but we can be a little bit more forgiving of Kirby Dach, out of all people, considering his history with injuries. Anyways, the Montreal Canadiens had a 2-0 lead in this game, but that did not last for long because just 20 seconds later, the St. Louis Blues got themselves their first of the game. It is Colton Parayko, assisted by Mathieu Joseph and Ryan Suter. The Blues had the puck down low, played back over to the left side, a shot towards the goal, and then Parayko was there to bury the rebound. It was a scrambly play. The puck was kind of loose in the slot forever, it seemed. And the Blues were just able to capitalize on that. So good for them to get up there on the board. Colton Parayko's first of the year. This wasn't a goal either where he just absolutely blasted it from the point. Like, he was digging in the crease trying to get that rebound. Kind of an interesting spot for Parayko in particular to be. But it's a 2-1 game. All it takes is 2 minutes and 30 seconds, though, for the Blues to come back and make it a 2-2 game. Yeah, that's right, the Blues had themselves 2 pretty good goals in the span of a few minutes. This one, it was Brayden Schenn coming in on a 2-on-1 rush. He drives to the net. Mike Matheson just kind of lets him go. Like, okay, he's trying to block the pass, I get it, but Schenn just walked right in. The puck then finds itself behind the goal to Brandon Saad, who stops up, throws it out in front, and Jake Neighbours is there to bury the puck. Nice goal there for Neighbours. That's his 4th of the season. He's been a pretty clutch goal scorer this year, all things considered. I know he had a rough start because of the injuries to open up the year, but Jake Neighbours has been just an aggravative kind of forward, the same kind of guy, I'd say, that Montreal could be targeting. Who knows? We had seen that update from Elliot Friedman during the second period intermission headlines. We can talk about that more tomorrow to open up the show. But 10 minutes later, the Montreal Canadiens restored their lead. It comes to us on the power play via Alex Newhook. Mike Matheson is the guy off the faceoff who ends up taking the puck at the right point. He walks into the middle, feeds it over to the left goal mouth where Kirby Dach is there. He one-touch passes it over to Newhook on the opposite side. Beautiful goal. Not much Binnington can do there because it's a really nice cross-crease opportunity. Kirby Dach getting his mojo in this game with his second point of the night. You'll love to see that out of him. Matheson as well, his second point of the night on this goal too. A lot of the guys whom you wanted to see produce for Montreal were producing, and that carried over into the third period, where we saw Lane Hudson and Nick Suzuki combine on the assists for Cole Caufield's 7th goal of the year. Beautiful takeaway there by Lane Hudson on the St. Louis rush. He ends up stealing the puck, quickly goes off the boards to Nick Suzuki. Suzuki tosses it over to Caufield, who's got speed coming in down the middle. He catches the Blues on a change, walks in, shoots, and scores a beautiful far side shot on Jordan Binnington. At this point in the game, Montreal had, 20 shots, and Binnington had let in 4 goals. So I was like, okay, come on, pull the guy. St. Louis still has a chance to win. They're only down 4-2. Get Hofer in there. Get me some saves, man. Unfortunately, that did not happen. Binnington stayed in the rest of the game, and then you had Yoel Armia at the end of it, who got the empty net. Not even really at the end. There was 3 minutes to go in the game there. St. Louis tried to go for that empty net a little bit early, but of course, they were down by 2. You can't really expect them not to. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this game right here. I think the Montreal Canadiens had a pretty good handle on things for the majority of the contest. It's just nice to be able to see the guys that we want to see clicking. Suzuki had multiple assists, Matheson multiple assists, Kirby Dach multiple points, Cole Caufield got a goal, Lane Hudson got a really nice assist. So really, what is there that you could complain about in this one? Not to mention Sammy Montembeault, who had himself a pretty stellar .935 save percentage in this one too. The only 2 goals that beat him weren't really his fault, I would say. You can't really blame guys for crashing the crease and being there for one-timers. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Montreal Canadiens defeating the St. Louis Blues and Jordan Binnington. Unfortunately, Joel Hofer did not get any ice time in this one. Who knows if that changes over the course of the calendar year. But thoughts in the comment section either way. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.